Bitcoin is right now breaking below the bull market support band for the first time in 600 days here, and potentially this drop on Bitcoin become much more worse since the stock market could be crashing, since Michael Burry placed a bet of 1.6 billion US dollars that the market is going to crash, and also Warren Buffett sold more than 8.2 billion worth of assets in Q3 2023. So I will be exactly talk about this, what to do next with altcoins, what to do next with Bitcoin, and of course I will give some very good trading opportunities in this video. So don't forget to slap up that like button on today's update video. Can we smash it back above 500? That will be absolutely incredible. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content. So looking at Bitcoin, the weekend is over, and yeah, we created a small little CME gap on the top side, and right now we're expecting that Bitcoin is going to come down towards that 26,000 US dollar price. So I won't be surprised to see the CME gap filled up in a few hours from now on. Further on, Bitcoin is right now creating somewhat of a consolidation phase after it had that massive dump towards the downside. Right now, what I'm looking at for Bitcoin is basically a next move here. So you can currently still see this big wick on the lower side. I've said this in many videos before, but personally, I think that the liquidity of this wick towards the downside is going to get filled up, because that is what you see always from these very sharp moves towards the downside. So what I expect here is either first a move towards the upside to shake out some short positions, or straight away a move towards the downside to fill up the liquidity and then bounce back towards the upside after creating a gigantic bullish divergence. So where I am currently placing my orders is, yes, around the 25 to 24.8k, because I personally think that is the big support target that we're looking at, and basically around this white box right here is my personal accumulation range for new positions on Bitcoin. Further on, we can currently see that Bitcoin remains to be oversold on that 4-hourly time frame, and yes, I remain to be expecting the same here. I think potentially we could first see a small little pump towards the upside before filling up that liquidity and then bouncing back towards the upside, or we see the second scenario where Bitcoin straight away is going to be dumping in towards that liquidity range and bounces back towards the upside and then potentially recovers back towards higher levels. Bitcoin remains to be oversold on the 4-hourly RSI. That is definitely very interesting, since Bitcoin is quite long oversold right now here. And usually, if you look at history, we don't stay oversold for such a long time here, and we usually tend to see a bigger bounce here. While we are currently oversold, we can actually also see that we are having gigantic negative funding rates, what means that many people in the market that currently have positions open are short, what means, yes, the most likeliest move from of this point is probably a short squeeze. So that is why you first expect a small move towards the upside, so we can squeeze out some of these short positions that are currently massively in the market. Maybe it's not going to be happening, and first we are going to come down, but if we dump straight away towards the downside right now, it makes it only more likely to be accumulating, because then the market is definitely only leading by shorting positions, so the chance on the short squeeze is extremely big at that point. So that is what I'm currently looking at. But one thing I talked about yesterday on my Twitter page is that I personally think that BlackRock coordinated this Bitcoin price drop. And here is why. First of all, BlackRock became bullish on the exact top on the Bitcoin price action. Of course, before they announced their Bitcoin spot ETF, but they publicly became bullish on Bitcoin on the exact top of Bitcoin. And you have to understand, these news corporations are heavily controlled by the exact asset managers that are interested in a Bitcoin spot ETF, like Vanguard, BlackRock, and Fidelity. Further on, the Wall Street Journal reported that SpaceX is selling millions of dollars of Bitcoin, but it is not even confirmed, and probably it's just written off since the market is down 80%. So the Wall Street Journal created FUD, and that caused the market to be dumping significantly towards the downside, since they are such a gigantic stockholder of them. Further on, additionally, BlackRock needs to accumulate Bitcoin for their ETF fund. No wonder why they are going to dump Bitcoin for a cheaper entry, of course. So this is the BlackRock game plan. BlackRock dumps the Bitcoin price, retail investors sell Bitcoin, because yes, the point that Bitcoin really dumped so significantly was on the news that Tesla sold their Bitcoin, and at the same time BlackRock is probably buying Bitcoin, the ETF is going to be launching, and then the next Bitcoin bull run is going to be starting. So make sure to pay attention towards this market and don't lose your attention. I think 2023 is the year of accumulation, and 2024 is the year of the bull run, so get ready, start to be accumulating. It doesn't really matter where the price is sitting at. I personally think Ethereum is going to go beyond these highs that we currently can see here. I'm currently in a small loss on my Ethereum trade, but it will be definitely accumulate more and more in towards this position to even build up a bigger position, since I definitely do believe that Ethereum is going to be definitely a very good long-term investment and a good long-term hold in my portfolio. So if you want to be trading Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, you can currently go to the link in the description of today's video, where you can claim a free 1,000 US dollars Bitcoin long or short position. And all you need to do here is sign up an account using the link in the description and deposit $100, and you can claim a free 1,000 US dollars Bitcoin or XRP long or short position. So go to the link in the description if you are interested in this deposit bonus. Then quickly saying another thing here, what is very important to be understanding is that if you are looking at Bitcoin here, you can see that the liquidity low here in the market lays around the 24.8K, the previous low in the market right there. Currently, if we really are going to be breaking below 24.8K, we confirm a candle close below it, then we are personally, in my opinion, quite screwed, and probably we're going to go much, much lower. Because if we break below this important level that I just talked about, we're going to be breaking below this entire range right here, what is of course a very bearish development. So I will be keeping my eyes wide open on it. If we confirm the break below this level, I wouldn't be surprised to see Bitcoin come down to $21,000. However, I don't think it's the most likely scenario, but many people on Twitter and on the internet are currently talking about Bitcoin going down to $12,000, but I don't really think it's a very likely scenario to be playing out here. Just like in previous cycles, Bitcoin tends to be going sideways a lot before the bull run starts and the halving happens. So I will be expecting that Bitcoin is going to be trading between this range here, between $25,000 and $32,000 for at least the coming 6 months here. And maybe it sounds very boring, but probably that is what is going to be happening. So make sure to pay attention towards it. So just like I said a moment ago, if we break below this very important level right here, we are definitely screwed. So this is going to be most certainly the most important level to be watching. If we break below $25,000, it's definitely a very bearish signal in the market. But since Bitcoin is so oversold right now here, and if it comes down to $25,000, it actually makes up a very good buying opportunity, because the risk of buying Bitcoin around $25,000 once it is super oversold and is sitting at super important support makes it only more likely to be buying Bitcoin over there, because the risk is most certainly lower. And yeah, you were interested in buying Bitcoin on $30,000, so why aren't you at $25,000? It's a bear market, it's time to accumulate, and I think that this is an important level to pay attention towards. If we break too low below it, we're probably going to go much lower, but I personally don't think that's the most likely scenario. You can see the super trend indicator is still indicating that we're in a bullish trend here, but once we see this trend shift around here, you will be the first one to know on the channel. Then we're probably also going to go in a bigger macro trend shift here towards the downside. Further on, we can actually currently see here that Bitcoin is breaking below the super bull market support band. The last time we did so was back in December/November 2021, and that initiated the entire bear market for Bitcoin. And right now, once again, we're breaking below it. But just like we've seen in the past as well, we've broken above it and then we came below it again. So we could see something similar, a small little fake out and a move back towards the upside. So I don't necessarily think it's all too big of a deal, but it's definitely something very interesting to take in account, because the last few times we've retested this level, we found support on it, we found resistance on it, and here as well we found resistance on it. So this level is quite important to be looking at, but still, in my opinion, if you're just going to be looking at Bitcoin, the most important thing to do here is just look at these horizontals, because we're currently sitting on a very important horizontal level. It's weekly support, it's daily support, it's the biggest support for Bitcoin in this entire trend here. So as long as we hold above 24.5K, I personally think there's no reason to really start to be panicking on Bitcoin. And also, quickly going to give you guys an update on the altcoin market, because many people are saying altcoin season is starting now here because Bitcoin dumped and altcoins went up here. Please don't get fooled twice here. Altcoins are currently retesting the Bitcoin dominance high here, and I've been through 2 previous Bitcoin cycles, and I have really learned from what to do and what not to do with altcoins. And what not to do here is buy altcoins in bear markets. And yeah, right now we're technically still in a bear market, and the best time to be buying altcoins is just once Bitcoin breaks its all-time high, and it is not right now, in my opinion. So personally, I am not scaling into altcoins yet here. Indeed, they have a small little rally. Be aware, the Bitcoin dominance first has risen more than 35%, and now Bitcoin dominance dumps by 6%, and out of nowhere it's altcoin season. No, it's not like how it works here. Probably Bitcoin dominance is going to continue further on here, and my targets to really go big in towards altcoins are laying around 58% here for Bitcoin. So yes, I still think we've got a little bit higher to go here, but if we come above 54 to 58% in the Bitcoin dominance, that is the point where I would really say, okay, right now maybe it's a good time to be stepping in towards altcoins. Then quickly, a last thing I want to be saying here, and I do not want to be scaring anyone off here in the market, is that of course we did know that Michael Burry placed a 1.6 billion US dollar bet here that the market is going to come down. We do know that he's got a lot of credibility, but he's also been wrong many times before here. But interestingly enough, Warren Buffett is also a very interesting figure that has been right many times before. And he recently sold more than $8 billion US dollars worth of asset off in 2023 Q3. So maybe you find Michael Burry's prediction doubtful, but Warren Buffett is predicting also a similar move or turn down in the market, just like Michael Burry is. So I think it's very important to take into account that there is a very big possibility that the stock market is going to be crashing. There's a very big possibility for another 20 to 30% crash. And what would it do to Bitcoin? Bitcoin could go once again also lower due to that. And that is exactly why you should be prepared for everything. So if Bitcoin comes down to $20,000, I will be prepared to be buying more. I have still got limit orders set up over there. If Ethereum comes down below $1,000, I'm going to be buying more. But there is still a possibility that Bitcoin potentially is going to crash 30 to 40% from now on. And if that happens, you shouldn't be exiting the market. You should be benefiting from the lower prices. So pay attention towards that. It's still possible that the market is going to be having a massive crash, but you just have to be paying attention towards the market right now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.